Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I ran into this interview. I remember listening to it when it first came out, when this case was just happening and before Letecia was even arrested. So the babysitter does an interview and she basically gives her opinion where she thinks that Letecia is innocent, that there's no way that Letecia has anything to do with what happened with Gannon. Now, at this time in the interview, Gannon was just missing, so didn't really know much yet. But she said she never seen Letecia discipline her kids by laying a hand on them. She never touched her kids. So she just was having a hard time believing that she would have anything to do with it because she said she wasn't that kind of a mother that, well, I'll let you listen to the interview and then we'll chat about it for a minute.
It's all mind-blowing.
Stephanie Kane just moved to Oklahoma mid-January, but last had contact with Letecia Stauch, Gannon's stepmother, shortly after his disappearance. For a year, she would babysit overnight for the Stauch family whenever they went away and became friends with who she calls Tisha.
I think she's innocent. She's not the type of person that will do something like this.
What is she like?
I mean, like, she never even spanked those kids. She wasn't the one to get on to them. She always let Albert do that.
Kane is trying to help clear her friend's name after this interview touched off serious backlash online.
She didn't sound like she was hiding anything, like that's just the way she is.
People from across the country following the case, some criticizing her social media posts.
I would be losing my mind too. I think she's overwhelmed.
Kane says Letecia may not have her phone and she thinks she deactivated her Facebook last night. You just think that there's no way that she would have done anything to him?
I'm not saying, like, I don't know, I don't know, but I'm saying that I don't think, my personal opinion, I don't think so. Like, I don't know. I don't think she'd do something like that. I mean, like, because she is a friend.
I mean, but you can't really blame her. You don't know somebody. I mean, you think you know somebody, and basically they show you what they want you to see of them. And a lot of the times they're wearing a mask and they're fooling you. And so she probably came across like a good parent to this babysitter. So I don't blame her for thinking that. But it's just crazy watching that now after knowing what a crazy monster that she is. So I'm going through the arrest affidavit. I'm going to break it down, into different videos and point out some interesting things. So on this one, I want to go over the Google searches. They're so interesting. And I know I read them on a live before and they went through some of them on the trial, but it's worth going over them again. It's just so weird how she chose to search, like Google certain things. It's almost like she's Googling her thoughts, which is so odd. Some of the stuff she Googled. Okay, so let's start here. So it says that Letecia appeared to use Google, a popular online search engine. So they included some of the searches with the date and approximate time of the search. Not all the Google searches are included below. And they add, I submit that Letecia's search history is important because the history suggests she might have been struggling as a step-parent and additionally suggests she was not happily married to Mr. Stauch. Okay, so let's look here. And then they do point out, says, I also direct the court's attention to the way Letecia's search terms are sometimes entered. Letecia hits the parentheses key instead of the space key multiple times while searching the internet, and approximately 44% of the searches listed below. This will be significant during the discussion of a search conducted on the Gannon's phone, as was discovered above in paragraph 40, and will be further discussed below. There are other searches on Letecia's phone that use a parentheses, and additional search history over a longer time span does exist that is not listed below. Here's the Google search text string. So here's the date and time. So we have 125 for a bunch of these, and then I'll tell you when it switches. So the one's from January 25th, which is 2 days before Gannon disappears. Because remember, it's the 27th that he's reported missing. I'll highlight them as we go here. Okay, so number one. So January 25th at 12:16 p.m. Find real military singles. Then we have same day at 1:40 p.m. Parenting should be 4 people, not 1. Okay, number 3, search term. I'm overdoing all the work for my stepkids and their mom doesn't help. So that's at 1:40. Mom advice from stepmom. It's at 141. And then at 148, she searches, if you aren't involved in your kid's life, you are shitty. At 149, she searches, my husband's ex-wife does nothing for her kids. 151, I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a card since I raise her kids. I mean, who goes into Google and searches that? It's like her thoughts, and she's going to type them into Google. What is she expecting to get in return? I mean, how is Google supposed to answer that? Google's not a person. It's like information. It's not going to be so specific to your life, Letecia. It is going to know if your ex-wife or if your husband's ex-wife is going to send you a card. So weird. Okay, the next one is at 1:51 p.m., still January 25th. I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a Valentine's card since I raise her kids. So she kind of altered it a little bit, changed the wording. Now she said Valentine's card instead of just card. And then what else did she change? Basically, the rest is the same. Then again, I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a Valentine's card since I raise her kids. So that one's worded the same. Like a minute after she wants to search it again. Must not have liked what she got the first time. Next one is at 1:54. She says, one day some people will wish they treated you differently. Google that twice. And then at 3:35 p.m., January 25th, why should my husband choose me over family? She spelled over with wrong, which is fine. I mistype all the time. And then at 7:57 p.m., find me a rich guy who wants me to take care of his kids. And then she rewords it a little bit. This time it says, find a guy who wants me to take care of his kids and get paid. So instead of a rich guy, she just adds a guy and get paid. And then now we're going to January 26th. So the next day in the morning, so she's up Googling in the morning at 9:25 a.m. It's crappy. Some parents don't care for their kids or buy them presents. And then at 9:26 a.m., parents are those who put their kids before their nails. Scroll up. And then she did that twice. Parents are those who put their kids before their nails. I have no idea what she's trying to say. It doesn't even make sense. She's saying parents are, like, oh, a parent is the ones that put their kids before their nails. Yeah, I guess that's what she's saying. Well, duh. Nails should not be on the top of your list of importance. All right, so now, 1:27. This is the day it all happened. This is the day Gannon's reported missing. But this is at 12:09 a.m. So this is basically still the night before. Now remember, what happens that night? What happens January 26th night? The fire. That's the fire night. So now we're looking, like I said, this would be supposedly after the fire. Remember? She jumps on him with a blanket and puts the fire out, and then she gets all the kids and puts them out in the van, and they drive around. And then they come back, and everybody sleeps upstairs but Gannon, okay? But anyway, so we're looking at 12:09 a.m. It says, my son burned the carpet. How do I fix it? And then we have 12:42 a.m. Will humidifier help if exposed to smoke? Then we have at 12:43 a.m. Smoke effects will humidifier help? Weird way to word a sentence, but we get what she's trying to ask. Smoke from fire effects will humidifier help? It's at 12:43. And then we have 12:55. Colorado law for kids staying at home. I think it's supposed to be staying at home. So remember, Gannon stays at home Monday morning. So maybe she's looking to see, hey, what's the laws? Because I have to work. Remember, she's supposed to start that new job. I have to work. He's not feeling good. Can I keep him at home? Will I get in trouble if he stays at home and I go to work? I'm thinking that's probably what she's trying to see. And then at 12:57 a.m., it says, school is out. Is it okay for my kid to stay home alone? Probably because, yeah, she has to work the next day. But I don't know why it says school is out. Maybe it means, I don't know if she means like in the summer or if she's meaning more like after school time, like in the evening. But anyway, so then we have 1:01 a.m. My son is sick, but I have to go to work. And then it says, son sick, can he stay home? It's at 1:03 a.m. Then it says, suede repair, IDT for sofa. So that's at 4:40 a.m. So I was pointing this out in my live. It does not look like she slept that night. And then you'll see the next night, it doesn't look like she slept either. So she's going on sleep deprivation too, I feel like, which I go, 1 or 2 days without sleeping sometimes too, but it can mess with you. When I was still using, I would go like weeks because meth. I went like 2 weeks before without sleeping, but that's a whole different story. But like normally without anything, now that I'm sober, I could go a day or two. But you can hallucinate. You could have effects from it. So it looks like, yeah, she definitely doesn't look like, unless if she slept 3 hours, but I doubt she probably slept that night. Okay, so the next one after 4:40 a.m. is 6:54 p.m. So doesn't use her phone all that day, which we know because she keeps her phone at home when she goes on that trip to Petco and stuff. You know, we think probably so she's not going to be able to be traced of where she goes. But now 6:54, this is after they already can't find Gannon supposedly. So she's looking up El Paso Sheriff's Office number. And then 4:15 a.m. So then doesn't use her phone all night until 4:15 a.m. Besides that, look up for the El Paso Sheriff's Office number. So 4:15 a.m. it says, what is the process for our runaway child? Remember, she's trying to play it off like a runaway child. Then 4:16 a.m. police steps for our runaway. And then police steps for our missing child. Today's flight okay to Colorado Springs. So she's seen the flights to Colorado Springs. So this is the January 28th at 4:36 a.m. So this is basically that day that Gannon goes missing, but into the morning. So she obviously isn't sleeping again. So this is the second night she's looks like she hasn't slept. And then this one right here, 12:57 p.m., January 28th, can Nintendo find my Switch? So I think what she was trying to do there is to see if cops can trace that Nintendo Switch, because the Nintendo Switch was never found. At least that's what it says in the arrest affidavit. It was never found. So she probably either lost it somewhere when she was dumping things and wherever she took Gannon that day. And then I know she brought him back, but so it was one or two things. She either lost it and was like, oh shoot, did I leave it with Gannon? Where is it? Is it going to tip? Is it going to basically somehow get me in trouble? Or she purposely wanted to get rid of it to go along with the whole runaway kid theory. So, oh, if he ran away, he would definitely have taken his Switch. So she wanted to purposely get rid of it, but wanted to make sure that it wouldn't be able to be traced. Or maybe it has blood on it or some kind of evidence that she just wanted to get rid of it for some reason, maybe. And she didn't want it to be traced, or she was scared that they would be able to find it. And she didn't want it to, lead back to her as the one doing all this stuff. Or maybe, like I said, maybe during all this, whatever she did, she lost it and she wasn't sure where it was at and she wanted to make sure that they couldn't find it. So who knows, but it's interesting that she searched that. Anyway, okay, 1:28, 4:18 p.m., CarNet Volkswagen, which a nice viewer informed me that is the internet system for Volkswagen. So she was looking at that, probably seeing, what can they trace and stuff. And then at 4:19 p.m., they are asking for our son's toothbrush, but said nothing is wrong. You need more information than that. How is Google supposed to know what the heck we're even talking about? Like, think about that. What she's searching Google, like, why is she searching her thoughts, basically? It's just so weird. She's so weird. Okay, so here we got search term. So these are the ones that says some deleted internet search terms located on Letecia's iPhone. No date information was available. So these are the ones she deleted. Find me a new husband book. I feel like I'm just a nanny, not a stepmom. Husband uses me to babysit his kids. Are there any free money to move away from bad situation? My husband never posts about me, but does everything else. My husband only cleans up for the army, not me. I'm just a glorified babysitter. Find a new husband. Sent my husband sexual messages and he ignores them. Make my husband want me more. I feel like my husband uses me to babysit his kid. Find a guy without kids. So you can see what she's feeling. Like, it doesn't seem like she really loves the kids. She feels used. Okay, guys, I think that's all I'm going to do in this video. Like I said, I'm going to organize all the texts here, and that'll be coming soon. Trying to get them all organized, and I'll read those. And I have a couple other ones I'm working on. Have a good night, day, morning, wherever it is, where you're at. And if you guys have any interesting info, give me an email. zavgirl@protonmail.com. All right, bye, guys.